Hey everybody, Seville here, and today we're going to be going over the anonymous room and try hackMe. This is not the hacking group, it makes it very clear there as you can see at the top. And this is a pretty easy box. It's rated with a difficulty, the difficulty is rated at a medium. I would beg to differ there. I think it's true to its word in the task description here where it says this is a virtual machine meant for beginners. I believe if you have a pretty good reconnaissance or information gathering steps, that you'll find that this machine is pretty simple. It just requires a little bit of thinking there at the foothold, but once you get past that, it's it's pretty simple. It's pretty textbook. So, with that being said, I do appreciate you watching this video today. I apologize for my recent absence. Obviously, there has been a great deal of tragedy going on across the world, and I just wanted to take a step back and just take a little break and just assess everything that was going on and stuff like that. So today's a little better. I'm gonna go ahead and get through this walkthrough here with you all today. I hope you appreciate it. I hope somebody learned something, and I appreciate you again for watching this. So without wasting any more time and ranting on, I'm going to go ahead and read this description to task one, our only task that we have to do today, and we'll go ahead and start answering these questions. So, try to get the two flags, root the machine, improve your understanding of the fundamentals. This is a virtual machine meant for beginners. Acquiring both flags will require some basic knowledge of Linux and privilege escalation methods. So, knowing that, like I said, it's a pretty easy box. If you have some good recon, some good info gathering, then you will find this machine to be a breeze. So let's go ahead and hop into question number one. Enumerate the machine and how many ports are open. So I'm going to run my default here, which is going to be nmap sc for default scripts, sv for enumerate all versions, and then I'm going to output that to a nmap directory and call it open ports.txt, and then I would supply the IP address 130.50, and I have already ran that, so we can just go ahead and cat that information out. So let's see here, and we find that there are 4 ports open. We have FTP on port 21, SSH on port 22, and we have SMB on 139.445. So that answers our question number 1, which is 4 ports are open. So that's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Question number 2 is just kind of going through the output from nmap, and it says what service is running on port 21. Well, we know that to be the FTP, which also has anonymous FTP login allowed. So that's going to be a pretty interesting piece of this box as well. Question number 3 is what service is running on ports 139 and 445. Looking back at our output from nmap, we know that to be SMB. So that is also pretty straightforward. Those first 3 are pretty simple. Number 4, we start to dig a little bit more deeper into the box, and that says there's a share on this user's computer. What is it called? Well, what we can do is run something like SMB client, and we can supply -n to tell it not to ask for a password, and then list the share name. So let's go ahead and give it the IP address 130.50, and this should output all the share names that are available to us anonymously, and we see that the one that piques a little bit of interest is the PIX. The print and IPC shares are pretty common on SMB, so those you'll find those pretty much anywhere and everywhere. But PIX obviously isn't a standard share name on SMB, so that is definitely going to be our answer, not only for number 4, but also an answer to where should we go from here. And that would be, I would probably go into the PIX share and see if there's anything interesting there. Number 5 is actually user.txt, and then from here we just get user and get root. So now we just need to root the entire machine. So it kind of set us up for success here, and now we just need to go and finish the job. So let's go ahead and actually enumerate this PIX share real quick. We can do that by just bringing back our last command, adding PIX to the end, and actually removing the list flag here. Because we don't need to list it anymore, we actually want to go into it, but we still don't have a password, so we need the -n there. And with that going, we should be able to jump into the share now, and we can list the contents and find just 2 picture files of Corgo2 and Pupo. So we can actually get those these two picture files and bring them back to our host machine if we want to see if they have any hidden information in them, some stego if you would. So we can get Corgo2.jpg, and then we can get Pupos2.jpg. And with that done, we could exit now. We'll clear that out, and we see that we have the 2 picture files now. And you could go through and use something like strings to list out and see if you can find any important information. Maybe I will tell you that this is what I did at the beginning, just to see if I found maybe like a password. I know we have SSH, or maybe to authenticate with an actual user via FTP instead of anonymous. And I will tell you that you will, well, not that you will not find anything, but I did not find anything of useful information that would help me continue on with this box. So that being fruitless, I will go ahead and remove the puppos and Corgo2. We'll go ahead and get rid of those 2 picture files because, like I said, I didn't find any information out of that, and so I think that's just kind of a little rabbit hole for us. However, knowing that, we still have FTP and the anonymous logon enabled, so we can go ahead and go and FTP over to that server there. We'll just 10.10.130.50. We have to supply the anonymous name, and then we could just hit enter for the password, and we are now in. We can list what's on the FTP server. We find a scripts directory. We can change directories into that, and list the contents of the directory, and find 3 files that we can just go ahead and push over to our host machine and do a little bit more digging on that. So let's go ahead and get the sh file, this clean.sh. We'll get that. We will get the removed files.log, so we'll get this log file as well, and we'll get the txt file also. And with that done, we can go ahead and exit. We can clear and see that we have now all those files here on our host machine. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make a directory called files. Then I'm going to move all those things that we just got off the FTP server into this directory called files, so that we just kind of keep the parent directory of this machine just nice and clean and tidy. So we will move all that over, and now, as you can see, we have pushed all those FTP files that we just found into that directory. So let's go ahead and change over into files, and let's cat out the to-do text file, and we see that it says I really need to disable the anonymous logon. It's really not safe, and they are not wrong about that. So that doesn't seem to be too much of anything revealing for us. We just know that